April.
Hello.
Thanks for being with me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we have lots to cover. I've just told people a little bit about your different careers, but I want to start with the closest to my heart. I want to start with pageantry. So tell me about Miss Great Britain.
What can I say? It literally changed my life. I obviously won Miss Great Britain 2021. It was such an incredible experience. It wasn't my first rodeo. I had been in the competition twice and come second twice in previous years. So obviously when they created the Ms. division, I went in and was just 100% myself and had the best time and came away with the title.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I want you to tell me about one moment, a memorable moment.
I have many memorable moments of competing in Miss Great Britain. I think maybe the funniest and the most heartwarming, completely random, but it was when we were learning the dance routine. I literally cannot dance. I can't. I have no coordination. I'm an absolute mess. I was turning around, smashing into everyone. It was awful. But I feel like the girls, we all just came together in that moment and just had so much fun.
It is fun.
And you just forget that, you're not competing at that point. You're just really embracing the moment of, laughing and having such a good time that it ended up walking away with such good friends. And that was probably one of the most fun moments of it, because I wasn't just the only one who was just bad at it, as was what I thought. There were many other girls who were just like me, and we just had so much fun.
And also it's stressful, because you'll be thinking about it.
And I feel like the more you think about it, the more you bugger it up. I swear to God, we were on stage and I was in the first line doing the dance, and I completely forgot all of it. It all went out of my head, and I just stood there just doing this little jig on stage, just doing my own thing, and then walked off, and then everyone else had followed suit in the front row. So we just all did our own thing and had such a laugh, and it didn't matter because it's not being judged anyway. But I feel like it was a really good way to sort of show our personalities.
Yeah. It's a fun part of the final, I'm sure. Now we all saw the changes in pageantry.
Yeah.
So what do you think about these recent changes?
I mean, I love that pageantry is so diverse these days. It's amazing. Obviously, the age limit has been increased. I think that's great. Let's, open it up to anyone and everyone. I don't think there should be a defining age limit, on whether you can be a capable role model in Miss Universe or not. I do, however, think that it might be tricky if you have got an 18-year-old competing against a 60-year-old. How do you judge that?
Yeah.
So I feel like the judges in hand will have a difficult task, perhaps, because of that. But I do fully support it.
Yeah. I know you are, of course, a fashion designer, a bridal and evening gown designer. Yes. So I think your presence on stage was easier, maybe. You know what to wear, what colors, what cuts. So.
Well, I knew no one else was going to have the same dress as me, so at least that was like a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Tell me about the fashion industry now.
I mean, obviously, I specialise in pageant dresses, as you know, and bridal dresses. The bridal industry is crazy since lockdown, because there was such a delay of weddings. Now everyone's, catching up. I feel like they're still catching up.
Yeah.
And it's just such a happy environment to be a part of. I mean, essentially, I'm helping, a woman choose the most important dress of her life.
Yeah.
People always say to me, "Are you not stressed? Does that feel pressure?" And it doesn't, because I love it, and I know that I love it, so that's why it's easy for me.
Do you follow trends, or do you leave it to...
I make the trends. No, I do, obviously I keep an eye out on things.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to when you're in that industry, but I feel like you create your own style these days and lead with that.
Yeah, when I was choosing, I was a lockdown bride, by the way.
Yeah.
When I was selecting my dress, everyone was like, don't follow the trend, because after a while you will regret it. And,
I would always say don't follow the trend. Unless you're one of those people who follows trends and is quite alternative and quirky in life and you are trend driven, then you absolutely do you. The dress, has to reflect your own personality at the end of the day. But I would always say, my one piece of advice would be to have a dress that you would look back on in 10 years and be like, no, that was a me dress. I
yeah.
suited that, and I love that for me at that time, and I'm glad that I chose it.
Now, I know, as I mentioned in the introduction, you design national costumes for Miss Universe Great Britain.
Yes, I do.
And actually, it's a huge thing in pageantry when you go international, because your national costume it represents your country, represent a part. You're taking part of your country. Tell me about it. You've been doing it for 3-4 years now?
4 years now, and I absolutely love it. I mean, it really gets my creative juices flowing.
Yeah, I hope, where does it all start from?
Everyone always asks me, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
It will just be like one of those light bulb moments, and I get my best ideas just as I'm about to go to sleep, which kind of due to my detriment, it can be annoying at times. So I'm like, I really wish I could go to sleep right now. But then all of a sudden these ideas will start bubbling up, and then I'll have an idea about something, and then I'll be like, how can I translate that idea into,
Yeah. But you left your mark on Miss Universe stage.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I literally, like, it's such a pinch me moment that I get to be a part of such, like an iconic pageant system, and to do the national costume, which is a massive part of Miss Universe, and to always have such good feedback.
Yeah, they are amazing. I've been following all these years, and I'm loving each of them.
Yeah.
Excited for the new one.
I am, I mean, God, give me a moment.
But you have a panic?
Yeah, I'm always, the thing is, after I've done one costume,
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, right, next year, because it comes around so fast, I have to have my idea in place before the girls are even in the competition, and then my idea will be in a sketch form once the girls are in the competition, and then that sketch will get released to all of the finalists.
Wow.
And then I will meet the girl after she's won. So I have no idea who's going to win. I have no idea who's going to wear this costume.
Yeah.
So I really need to take into consideration this needs to be a costume that will suit anyone.
Yeah. Well, you have a big task. Good luck. I know you will do amazingly.
Thank you.
Well, April, you like to keep busy.
I do.
So you are a trainee pilot as well.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you enter
Me and my crazy life. So obviously once I won Miss Great Britain, part of competing was to do a challenge with a company called Aerosparks. It was called the Loop the Loop Challenge. You fly in 2 loops upside down, raising money for Alex's Wish and cancer research. And I loved it so much. I'm such an adrenaline junkie that I really took, a passion towards it. And once I won, Aerosparks asked me if I wanted to become their ambassador. And I went on to supporting and promoting women in aviation, which isn't really heard of. And I just had the best time. And I was like, you know what? I would love to learn to fly one of these planes, because why not?
Why
if a
not?
man can do it, a woman can do it better, right?
I agree.
So obviously it's taken a bit of a backseat at the moment. But when I'm recovered from an injury that I've just recently had, I will be picking that back up 100% to get my PPL license.
So I want to go into your injury you just mentioned. Firstly, how it happened. Is it related to your training or?
So, I mean, there are a number of factors that come into play with this injury. A lot of it is, there's the physical aspect, and then there's the emotional aspect.
Of course.
I'd had a bit of a tough time over the last couple of years, and I was really in fight or flight, and your body, takes on all that stress, it takes on all that energy, and it can only, give as best as it can for so long before it crashes. And I feel like my nervous system was collapsing. I was really, and part of that, I've been lifting heavy dresses my whole life. Comes the physical aspect, and my body had just taken a toll physically and emotionally, and just decided that it wasn't going to carry that weight anymore. And so I ended up prolapsing my L5-S1 disc in my spine, which, unfortunately left me unable to walk for a good few weeks, well, a couple of months actually. I had the best osteopath, Neville Mayer, who, brought me back to the rehab recovery stage, taught me basically how to walk again, because when you have such an injury, everything collapses. I became wonky, like walking was the most painful thing I've ever experienced, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But here I am, sat in this chair. Obviously I now live in chronic pain, but I'm still tackling that. I'm doing various things, like I've got a steroid injection booked in a few weeks. I'm doing breath work therapy, I'm doing meditation, healing, everything to like calm my nervous system.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to tackle and target everything I can in order to make a full recovery as best as I can, really.
But I'm sitting here next to a very strong, very like a woman full with like you made me happy sitting next to you.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot.
You're full with life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like when we pass through difficult times, it changes us. It changes.
100%, yeah.
It changes our ideas, how we see the
Yeah.
world. What happened changed you?
I think for me, my lifestyle was so fast paced. I was doing this, I was doing everything.
Yeah.
I never really had me time. You know, I was filling my head with just things to do. And this really like, you know, brought my life to a standstill. You know, I couldn't leave the house, I couldn't walk, I couldn't even crawl to the bathroom the best of times. So I really was alone with my own thoughts for a very long time. And I feel like it gave me time to reflect. You know, I'm still doing that, I'm still learning so much. And I'm really learning, I guess you would say, to live in the moment. You know, I'm still that ambitious, fighting person. I still really want to recover so that I can do all of these things and, you know, hit all my goals. But it's kind of teaching me, embrace the moment. You know, you've only got one life, and it, you know, it really matters, you know, to be healthy and the best version of yourself, and to look after yourself and your body, because that's what's going to carry you through life at the end of the day.
I think everyone who's watching you and pass through difficulties, regarding if it is physically or mentally,
Yeah.
it's like seeing someone like able to overcome it
Yeah.
is give you a bit of hope, make you feel better. So if you want to give one message to people who are
my
passing
message
through
would
it,
be to not give up hope. Hope is what has got me through this, because I know that I will recover. And the more you tell yourself that, the more you feel that, the more the energies will align, and that will happen. I feel like one of the biggest things, you know, if you go through hardships in life, what's the best you can make of a bad situation? And in this situation, I've been able to be that hope and that light for other people who have been through the same situation as me. And if, you know, that's what I can take away from it, and I know that I've helped, you know, various amounts of other people, then I guess it was worth it.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing, firstly, and I'm sure like people who are watching are like taking it all on board, and you made me feel emotional myself. April, different topic.
Yes.
Married at first sight.
Yes. That's a crazy one.
Tell me how that changed you.
I mean, yeah, that made me become really resilient, I guess, because you're opening yourself up to not only marrying a stranger, you know, really putting yourself out there in the public eye to opinions. And I've always been the type of person who is not very good with, you know, dealing with negative, you know, things like trolling and bullying and things, you know, like that. It's just not a nice thing. And I've never surrounded myself with negative people. You know, I choose my people in life, and they are good people. And I was really put in a situation with a lot of strong characters I wouldn't usually choose to be around in normal life. And that was really challenging, I think. It opened my eyes up to not everyone, you know, is the kind of person that I would want to be. Not everyone is as kind as I would want to be. But I guess hurt people, and we can only learn from that and continue to do our best to be the best version of ourselves, you know? It was... Yeah, a journey of resilience, I'd say.
Definitely. And in personal level, did it change your mindset about like relationships?
Yeah, I'm still hopelessly single. I just, you know, maybe not. I feel like I need maybe a bit more work, you know, on the relationship front, because I've probably now gone into a state of hyper independence. I'm just so
you learned
used
a lot
to,
about yourself.
I'm just so used to being independent, and until someone comes along in my life and adds significant value, because my life, you know, apart from this injury, you know, it is good, and I would want someone to add to it, not take away from it, like that has been perhaps in the past. So yeah.
April, thank you so much for being my guest today. I loved all you're doing, and keep going. And thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm sure you give hope to everyone following you and watching you. And again, like in a world where we are supporting women, like you are a great example.
Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot. If I could do anything, one thing in life, to know that I've supported women, then that's enough for me.
Thank you. And we will see you next week in a new episode from London with Love with me, Link Live on ALB UK TV. Stay safe.